in a decline. And we need to unite in order to survive. Don't tell me I'm a Muslim and you're a Christian. I don't want to hear that. When you're hungry, and hungry don't give a damn what your religion is. Why in the hell are you going to tell me you're going to give black students $10,000 for a whole year when it is black people who are bringing you the money to this institution? Talk to me. You got to be sober to see the tricks that's going down to rob you of your future, black man and woman. Don't come to Illinois State trying to make a white university relevant to black people. That's wasting valuable time. Come here and extract the knowledge and then go back and use it to build your community.
Hello brothers and sisters, I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you're watching me from now. Louis Farrakhan, the long leader of Nation of Islam, is calling out the white farmers, is calling out the MAGA supporters for their betrayal against the black people. Now, yes, he's also calling out the black people to come out and unite to fight the social oppression, the political oppression, and the politics of identity that are playing on in the US. Let's watch this video, then have a little quick discussion at the end of it.
And if we have become the number one evildoers to one another, we are preaching a hatred now in our community that must breed self-destruction. If we say that God is love, and the scriptures of the Bible teach this, then the love that God is not some tender emotional feeling. When you say God is love, the word is representative of an equal sign. Whatever is on this side of the equation is equal by what is on this side of the equation. God is more than an emotion. He's more than a tender feeling. God is absolutely the essence of all things that you see and don't see. So when you say God is love, then love must be the very essence of life itself. So if you look at the word love, L-O-V-E, and the word life, L-I-F-E, it's the same word. You just change the F to a V. And in language, the F is interchangeable with the V. And the vowel O is interchangeable with any other vowel. So when you say you have love, you have life, you have God. When you have God, you have love, you have life. If as a people we do not love each other, as a people we are dead. And therefore the grave that we sleep in cannot praise God. The grave cannot praise God. And those of us who are dead in the hatred of self are not glorifying God in our existence. So somebody has to come to show black people how to love themselves, to love one another. And when somebody shows you how to love yourself, then in that act of love, they will be giving life to the dead by putting God in the hearts of the people. This is why the scriptures of the Bible, Reverend Jackson says, we can tell that we have passed from death into life because we love the brotherhood. So when you don't have life, you don't have love, you don't have God, you are powerless. Because God represents force and power. And the thing that black men don't have in America or in the world is force and power to determine our destiny. Our destiny is determined by others. We are like sheep, as the scripture teaches. And we have not had a good shepherd in front of us. How do you know that our shepherds have not been good? Because if our shepherds were good, God would be in our life. Life would be in our life. Love would be in our life. Power would be in our life. And therefore David the psalmist was moved to say, the Lord is my shepherd. Well, if the Lord is our shepherd, then we would never be in the condition that we are in. So we've got to replace the old shepherd. We got to get rid of the rider that's riding the donkey. He's not a good rider. So we got to throw that rider off our back and let the king ride you and me to glory. What do you mean, Farrakhan? Come on, wake this up. Jesus rode into Jerusalem on an ass. All right. Why an ass, Jesus? Y'all all right? Come on. Jesus told his disciples, look, there's an ass tied.
Yes, he did.
And there's a young colt tied with her. He said, go and untie them. Anybody ask you, what are you doing? Just tell them. The master has come and has need of them. Who are you, black man? I want to talk to you tonight, and I can guarantee you that when you leave this auditorium tonight, nobody will be the same.
No.
You'll never be worse. You'll be better. And based upon the degree of acceptance of the word is the degree of rise that will come in Houston from these black men. There's an ass tied. What does Jesus want to ride an ass for? When they murdered Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., his body was carried by what? Mule. They used a mule as a symbol. The ass is a symbol of the unlearned masses of the people. Nobody could do anything with the unlearned masses of the people. But when Jesus came on the scene, the ass was tied. Meaning somebody owns you but not making use of you. Listen. In the South, I think that's where we are. Whenever somebody would come in to talk to black people, white folk would say, I don't want him disturbing my Negroes or my colored peoples. He's a troublemaker coming in to disturb our Negroes. They always used the possessive tense. Yeah. This is why the Bible calls us the children of Israel. Of here denotes possession. We are the children possessed of Israel. Owned by, tied to, but not being used. They have no more jobs for us. You remember Reverend Jackson? They used to say, in heaven, every day will be like Sunday. It's like that now, only we in hell. Sunday was the day that we got off. Now every day is an off day for black folk, especially for black men. White folk make jobs, but they put your woman in the job, put you off the job. I want you to listen. When a man doesn't have a job and he has a sex drive, which is natural, if he's a natural man, he's gonna like a woman. Of course, that's gradually being changed, you know. But if you're a natural man, you are attracted to a female. And if you are attracted to a female and you like her, soon the natural attraction in male and female will give rise to sexual stimulation. And sexual stimulation will give rise to the act that they call making love. They call it making love because it's the act that creates life. But with us, it's not really a desire to create life or to procreate human species. It's a desire to have pleasure. And we know that the female God has made to give pleasure. But she's not to give pleasure to somebody who has not earned the right to pleasure by enduring the pain of being a producer. I want you to listen good. A man does not need pleasure if he's doing nothing. You know, recreation. Recreation. Recreation.
Yes, sir.
Recreation.
Yes, sir. Recreation.
Comes after work.
Work. Work. Work.
Not before work. Not in place of work. But recreation comes after work.
Right.
Solace and comfort and consolation comes after struggle.
Go ahead.
When God made a man, He made the man to struggle. He made the man to overcome difficulty. He made the man to become a producer. He made the man to multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it. He gave man power and dominion to carry out what God had ordained in the very nature of a man. And if a man does his, people pay money to see the Illini. The who? The Redbirds. With a whole lot of blackbirds on the Redbird team. So, we're not asking for more than we should have. But what the black students should demand is their fair share. And you should never punish them for bringing me here. You should reward them, because each person that came in here tonight paid money to come in here. They use their money to pay me, but you take this money back to Student Activities Fund. That's a damn shame. You're not only wicked, but you're thieves, robbers. This is a people that don't have a voice. And every time they get a voice, that voice is stilled by the powers that be, because they fear a voice that they don't control, that black people are listening to. Today, every black leader that we have is being manipulated. So that today we have a beautiful mayor in New York, Mayor Dinkins, and a governor in Virginia, Governor Wilder, and a mayor in Seattle, and a new mayor in Cleveland, and a new mayor in Hartford, and we applaud. And when they write of these black men, they say, these are the new politicians. They are non-threatening. What does that mean? If I am threatening, for what? I don't shoot anybody. I haven't robbed anybody. I'm not planning to. But I'm threatening to those who have lied to you and deceived you, because Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So now, if the truth makes me threatening, and being courageous enough to tell it makes me threatening, what makes a black man non-threatening? Then if he's non-threatening, he don't belong to you. If he's non-threatening, he's their man, not your man. He looks like you, but he works for them. And that's a hell of a condition to be in. To have a man that you're putting your hope in because he comes from your people. But he's not working for his people. There is not an Italian here, not a Greek here, not a Polish person, a Jewish person, an Irish person here who would vote for an Irish, an Italian, or a Jew to go anywhere if they didn't represent
Jewish or Italian or Irish interests. You know that to be the fact. Why should we then settle for non-threatening politicians who rule and guide for others and do not stand for us when we are the majority who have elected them? Crossover politicians, they call them. You know what a crossover politician is? A crossover politician is like a crossover singer of songs. You know how it is. We start in the ghetto where we always start. And we start in those honky-tonk joints where we always start. Nobody hears us there but our own people. They pay 75 cents for a beer, $1 for a beer, and we sing, and the people go out and say, man, did you hear Gladys McKnight or Gladys Knight and the Pips? They are something. And after 20 years on what they call the chitlin circuit, some white person comes in and says, wow. And just like they discovered America with a whole country full of Indians, just like they discovered Australia with the Aborigines there, they discovered Gladys Knight. They discovered Stevie Wonder. They discovered, and then when they discover us, that's when we're known. You see? Farrakhan has been speaking to black people for 36 going on 37 years. Now, I didn't get discovered. Until the great discoverer, the Christopher Columbus of black leadership, discovered me. I happened to be walking behind the Reverend Jackson, who had just a few years ago been discovered. The very word discovery and the way you use it is a racist kind of term. You're not interested in black people, but when we can make $1 for you, you become interested. When we can move you along, further your aims, your ambitions, your goals, you become interested in black people. But until then, you have no interest in us whatsoever. How dare you say that I'm bad for black-Jewish relations? What black people do you relate to? You don't relate to the black people on 43rd Street in Chicago, 63rd Street on the west side. We don't see a Jew. We don't know what you look like. So what kind of relationship am I messing up for you? You hypocrites. If you set up a black organization, somebody white knocking at the door, let me in. And if you don't let me in, you know, that's a racist group you're in. How many of you belong to Hillel? Ain't no black people belong to that, do you? Why not? Why not? You're not interested in that. You mean to
Hello, brothers and sisters. Now, Louis Farrakhan has played a very significant role and often controversial sometimes in Black American history, modern history. Now, particularly in the context of Black Americans' empowerment and resistance against systematic oppression. Now, we all know the figure Louis Farrakhan. If you don't know about this guy has done a lot. Sometimes I always focus on the positive sides of most of these black leaders. I know they have their flaws. I know they have their sides which their weak sides, but I've always concentrated on talking about the things that have impacted the black community. Now he's the long-term leader of the Nation of Islam, and Farrakhan has been both praised and sometimes criticized for all the things he has stood for and for the things he has done during his life, talking about the black history. Now, Louis Farrakhan has been a very good advocate against social oppression. It must be remembered that Louis Farrakhan has been very, very vocal on talking about the black community. He has been saying that it is time we, the black community, should realize that no one is coming to save us, that we need to come out and save ourselves. This is the same thing that I've always been talking about, that no one is coming to save you in the US. No one is coming to save you from UK. No one is coming to save you anywhere you are. You should get up and save yourself. He has been talking about how the white fragility and the white entitlement has affected the black community, that the black community has suffered a lot in the hands of the white people. Now, he has continued to say over time that not all white people are bad. Some of them, or most of them, they are rotten to the core. That the systematic racism that was installed in them for years is really affecting them. And this is the time I've always said that if we've tried everything and it has failed, why don't we try unity? Why don't we try coming together and uniting as the people? Sometimes I do feel like we are losing it on our side, that we do not want to unite, we do not want to come together. He has been talking about the criminal justice and prison outreach, the mass incarceration of the black community. He has been talking about how the criminal justice has been so biased on the black community that most people have ended up in jail, serving jail term that they don't really deserve, that the black community has never been judged fairly because of the stereotypes that have been built around all that, the existence in the US. Is it the time we really should embrace unity? We should embrace coming together. We should embrace so many other things. He has actually been talking about prison reform for a very long time. He has been saying that the prison ministry should actually offer spiritual rehabilitation and guidance to incarcerated individuals, because most of them have ended there without really having to do something bad. That some of them ended there after they were maybe found in drug dealing, which was not even the evidence was not pulled out well or presented in court. And he has been talking about the alternative to gang violence, and he has directly been addressing the black community. He has been telling them that discipline and unity is very important. And the black community, I wish we could listen. I wish you should listen, that unity is very important. One thing that these governments fear is unity, and your unity is something bigger that has always been a threat to the black, to the white community, or to the systems that govern America and govern Europe. There is need for us to be disciplined. Now, you are in a place that you are not loved. You know very well that someone else does not want you to progress. Someone else is against you. It's so good to be disciplined. That be disciplined yourself. Don't fall into gang. That's the only way they want you to survive. That a lot of circulation of drugs, and people fall to that. Then you start going into these communities and you start forming some things that are not good. This is how they want you to fall, because after that has happened, they will pull you up from your communities, take you to prison. That's whatever not my words, Louis Farrakhan's words. So there is need for the black community to also consider culture and global influence, that the black community were alienated, separated, and cut off from their culture, cut off from their own people. There is need for them to come together and realize that a culture that was told to them, a culture that was taught to them was not theirs. A history has been told, stories have been formed, stories have been made up to tell you or to brainwash you. And he has been talking about how important is the black community in the diaspora to join the Pan-Africanism movement in Africa. And he has been talking about the global black solidarity. You remember that Louis Farrakhan has been talking about Africa uniting with the Caribbean nations and the diaspora for a very long time. He has even visited most African countries, including South Africa, where he was preaching the gospel of unity. A man can be bad, but you don't entirely focus on the negative side of a person. Everyone has their own flaws. I usually believe that. So if Louis Farrakhan has been able to challenge the black men to take responsibility, and the black community as a whole to take responsibility of coming together and uniting. Now he has been talking about building relationships between the Caribbean, the US, Europe, and Africa. You know, how important is that to the black community? You might not know, but there is no direct and good links between Africa and the Caribbean, Africa and the diaspora. For example, a story is told that if you want to go to Caribbean, you have to go through the US. Then the US will access you and vet you if you are in a position to go to the Caribbean. Why can't we have a direct flight from Africa to the Caribbean? You now understand how that is a business to the Western system, because they want to monitor you. They want to monitor whatever you say. They want to monitor your movement so that you are not able to unite. This is the time we should unite. We should build bridges, and let's challenge the US imperialism that has made us suffer this much. There is need for us to be very critical on how we access situations in our countries. The US has interfered with every aspect in each other African country. Now, same to the Caribbean. They have their military bases everywhere. They monitor your presidents, they monitor your leaders, they monitor your movements, they monitor your cause, they monitor everything. So the only way we can do things and the only way we can beat this system is by coming together. Political mobilization is needed, by the way. It's very, very important, and the unity that political mobilization will bring is very, very important. Louis Farrakhan, in 1995, he talked about the 1 million march to DC. And he wanted to march to the capital to address for the government to address issues facing the black community. Now, how important is the unity of the black community? Now, this is what I've been talking about for years. If the black community could have joined Africa, if Africa could have joined the Caribbean, we couldn't be this divided. We couldn't be having some of the problems we have right now. We have these problems because we are not united. Now, if we could make a historic gathering in Africa where we could talk about the unity of the black man, it could be very, very important. Now, let's reconcile, because most of the black community in the diaspora are very, very angry with us in Africa. In fact, they are very bitter with us for doing nothing. We inherited these problems. We inherited the mistakes of our parents, and we say sorry for that. It's very important for you to reconcile with us. It's very important for us to reconcile with you and those in the Caribbean. The systems have brainwashed you to believe that you don't need Africa. You need Africa, and Africa needs you the more. We all need each other. So this is whatever Farrakhan has been talking about. Now you see the things happening in the US. Identity politics has taken the better part of it. Most people in the US are now voting against the black community. They are doing this to punish you. They are doing this to punish the Caribbean. They are doing this to punish Africa. The policies have always been against you. The policies have always been against someone else, you know. These policies. Now, if really the US cared, and if your leaders cared, you could have received reparations by this time. Why don't you have reparations to this time? I don't know. The reason is well known to them, those who sit in the high offices. So we need to talk about the economic empowerment and initiatives. Sometimes back, I've been thinking and I've been asking myself questions. Why don't black communities support their fellows? Why do you have to shop in another shop when your brother or sister is selling the same thing? Why do you always go to shops that belong to the black community when you want to borrow? Right? When you want to take a loan. Very, very sad. We should learn to support each other. I saw the other time when Louis Farrakhan was talking and comparing the Latinos to the black, and he said most Latinos come from Mexico, Colombia, and all these other countries. They come to the US, set up their bases, create economic empowerment initiatives by starting businesses and supporting each other. They start nightclubs, of which you will get most of the people in those nightclubs are Latinos. And you will get most of the people working there are Latinos, most of the people buying are Latinos. Why can't the black community do that? The black community has always been against itself. Let the truth be told that you always fight wars that belong to brothers and sisters. You fight each other, but you can't fight wars to help your brothers and sisters who are in trouble. African Americans, FBAs, are not in good terms. The reason? They know to themselves. The bitterness that exists must come to an end. We must unite. We must reconcile. Africa must apologize for everything that was done. How I wish the African leaders could also apologize and compensate for whatever was lost when our brothers and sisters was taken away. Africa is big enough for everyone, for every black person to live in Africa. That I do believe, and no one can convince me. There is need for us to learn self-reliance philosophy, that you do not need to depend on the systems that have always been against you. And there is also need for us to advocate for social justice and be against any form of social oppression. This is who we are, and we must come together, fight for whatever is right, and try as much as we can to bring ourselves together and unite. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it did help you and it did open something in your mind, and you might want to start thinking about reconciliation, about coming together as the people and bridging the gap between the Caribbean, Africa, and the diaspora.